Right out the gate, they're asking Bernie about his war vote in Iraq, and then it like pitted Biden against Bernie. But if you've been following the contest, you'll know that Bernie Sanders has no problem bringing up the fact that Joe Biden, he voted wrong. He voted for the war in Iraq, the most colossal blunder in our history ever, and he voted for it. I did not. I strongly opposed it. And he did strongly oppose it. So, I don't even know how you try to clean that up if you're Joe Biden. And in fact, I think it put Joe Biden on his heels early. Because nobody wants to start the night off admitting that they made a mistake. I mean, if you can avoid that, you're going to try to avoid it. And that's what Joe Biden tried to do. And once again, Joe Biden uses Obama to try to blunt the force of his own choices. Now, look, when Joe Biden chose to support the Iraq war, he wasn't kicking it with Barack. He did that on his own, Johnson. That's right. Joe Biden supported that horrible war, that unconstitutional war, that war on a lie. He did that on his own. But what does he do? He says, well, Obama voted against it, and then he chose me as his VP, so basically, who cares? Because Obama chose me anyway. So if Obama think I'm good enough for the country, obviously everyone else should think the same thing, even though no one votes for vice presidents. One guy picks the vice president. The president's chosen by everyone. So the logic that Joe Biden uses doesn't make much sense, but that's okay. Because when I'm talking very forceful, and I'm trying to explain myself, and very much around the way. First things first. First things first is Barack Obama chose me in the Biden and Obama administration, him being the president and me being the vice president. The second point is I didn't really need to say that because we all know I wasn't the president. I wouldn't be able to run now if I was the president before. So obviously Obama was the president. I was the vice president. Third thing's this. I don't know why I'm talking right now. I need to get Polygrip. Super enforced Polygrip on my dentures because I'm feeling slippage. And I'm not trying to make fun of the dental situation. I've got my own dental situation. Everybody has their own dental situation. What I'm saying is Biden, he just lies through his teeth so much. That's why they're trying to jump out his head. Okay? And he's making up bad excuses that I don't think go over well. But we'll get to some of those later. So, yes, Bernie scored points in the beginning because he was on firm standing. Right after they went to Iran and Iraq, or Iraq and Iran, they then went to NAFTA, or trade agreements, okay? And once again, we got Bernie Sanders against NAFTA, against these trade agreements, these horrible trade agreements that send jobs overseas. He talks about it all the time, how detrimental it was to our economy, to working folks here in America, those who had those manufacturing jobs before the catastrophe of Bill Clinton really took hold. And then we got Joe Biden who voted for him. Joe Biden's the guy, he's right there. And now I'm going to say this. I think that Bernie should have hit Biden harder. Yeah, he should have hit him harder on this because that's the guy right there. That's a chief architect of these horrible trade agreements right there, Bernie. Get his ass. No, not figuratively, not someone else. No, literally get him. He's right there. Like you can reach out and touch him. It's like when we watch these horrible court cases where a parent has lost a child to some insane, callous action of a person, and the father is in the courtroom, and that person's sitting there with a smug look on his face. And something in that dad, deep down in that dad, is like, I'm going to get you. And he does. He gets him. And then you had the bailiffs. They pretend to get him off. Like, oh, hey, Pop, come on, Dad. But they're not really trying that hard. That's what America was feeling. And that's what we would have felt if Bernie would have went after Biden harder on this. No one likes the trade agreements. Well, most people don't like them, right? Who realize that jobs over there, jobs in Vietnam, making your clothes, doesn't help workers here in the United States. Like most people kind of get that. Like, you don't need to explain China on everything. Doesn't go well. I mean, unless unless you invested in the China corporation or. All right. So we got get a little carried away. We got more here. We got more, Tim. Warren, one of the things I noticed during the course of the night, and I think it was an excellent strategy by Joe Biden. Joe Biden did something that I think he should have done, and it was masterful. It was masterful. It showed how keenly aware he is of the situation. His strategy was amazing because, for the most part, he shut the hell up. Yeah, his strategy was just be quiet. Let these guys run at each other all day. Let them kill each other. I'm just going to sit back and think about driving my Corvette, you know. You know, just sat back and just daydreamed. Oh, the younger days. Oh, yeah. Eating ice cream. Eating Ben and Jerry's, you know, just. That's what he was doing, Johnson. He was just daydreaming about the days of eating ice cream, and life was much simpler. Riding the Amtrak, eating ice cream. You know, during this debate, there was one point where Joe Biden was bragging about how many black people support him. He kept talking about, I got more black support than any other person. The black people like me. The black people know me. We know each other. I've known black people. I like black women. Black women like nice hips. Oh, I love being around black people. Man, I've always liked, Kanye West songs and different stuff like that and Stevie Wonder. Right up my alley, man. I'm really cool, man. It's really jive. Dude, it's dope. It's hot, baby. It's hot, mama. For real, man. Dig it. You can dig it. You can get down with it. You can get funky with it. It's cool. It's laid back to the side. It's on fleek. You know what I'm saying? It's popping. It's what's real. And all I could think was, yeah, there are black people that support you, Joe Biden. That's because you are familiar to us, and I will admit you are familiar, but not in the way you think, Joe. Now, you're familiar like in the creepy uncle that was mentally challenged that lived upstairs, and we used to slide the dinner plate to the front of the door, knock on the door, and run, and we were told to never, ever leave him alone with the kids. That's you, Joe. You creepy Uncle Buck that lives upstairs. Right? That everyone's scared of. And they know if anything ever happens, that Uncle Buck's who you got to go look for. And every couple of weeks, Grandma, goes in his room and cleans his room and airs it out. So, God, we got to do something to stop Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck got to go. And I mean that with all due respect, sir. So the closing statements are very interesting. And we know for some viewers, the closing statements will be the last thing people have on their minds. That's why they're called closing statements. As you walk away, you'll be thinking about them. And they will sometimes decide who won the debate and who did not win the debate. Joe Biden, he done a good night of being small. You got to be small. Got to be the leper. Never let them see you coming. That's a great Al Pacino line from The Devil, the movie where he played the devil or whatever. Yeah, with Keanu Reeves, that movie. Devil's Advocate, yeah. Said, you got one flaw. You're big. You want people to see you. Did I leave my boots underneath your bed, darling? You're showy. You got that big Texas thing going. You got to be like me. You got to be small, innocuous. Could be the leper. Move in and out. I love that. Biden's not the leper. He's not being small. He was being the leper. Then at the closer, he got really big and stupid. Yeah, he started talking about character and soaring and sweeping platitudes like the soul of America and all Americans need to band together and form Voltron and fight back the standpoint and moral fiber of America. We need to remember who we are and what we stand for. And I'm like, what America is this mofo from? The America that I know has tent cities with children in them. The America I know has people being shot in the streets by other people who are mentally unhinged. The America I know has bombs dropping in countries with brown people in them for no particular reason. But to Joe, it's a soaring speech full of hot-ass air. I don't see how it resonates. I don't know who it resonates with. People that read comic books instead of newspapers, and people who watch commercials in order to get their understanding of the world. So Joe Biden won because Joe Biden was able to just keep his dentures in and shut the hell up and, kind of cruise a little bit and not talk too much. But Bernie also won because no one scored a real knockout blow. Nobody really laid a glove on him. I mean, they talk bad about Medicare for all, but at this point, people either want it or they don't. They already know about it. Bernie's not going to back off of it. So it's a tie. I think it's a stalemate between Bernie and Biden, which is the way it should go because those are the two front runners. Okay? That's who's going to come down to. And in my opinion, there's not a hard choice at all. Yeah, I think that Bernie and Biden won. I think they both won. But Biden for other reasons, not because he was expertly, look at him, he answered great questions. Like they're going to try to blow it up in the media. Like, he was great, he was dynamic. No, he wasn't. He just got to lay back while Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, while they went after Bernie and then went after Elizabeth Warren, or they pitted them against each other or whatever, like why that happened, which gave Biden an opportunity to kind of just go like, hey, I'm not here, I'm just chilling, man, do his best Bill Clinton, like, man, I'm over here like smoking some weed, just chilling out, man. Every time I was just over here, I was just telling Chris Tucker, I was like, Chris, man, we gonna play some old Prince records.